identical. But let's establish something here first, the foundation of this, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, حُرِّمَتْ عَلَيْكُمُ الْمَيْتَةُ. The dead meat or the animals that died before being slaughtered is unlawful for you, is haram to eat. Is haram to eat. طيب, here is another verse. This one is the third verse in Surah Al-Ma'idah. حرمت عليكم الميتة والدم ولحم الخنزير وما أهل لغير الله به والمنخنقة والموقودة والمتردية والنطيحة وما أكل السبع إلا ما ذكيتم. All of these are types of animals that died, which died without being slaughtered. Those are unlawful for us to eat. Another verse in Surah Al-An'am, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is addressing us by saying, وَلَا تَأْكُلُوا مِمَّا لَمْ يُذْكَرِ اسْمُ اللَّهِ عَلَيْهِ. Do not eat from that which Allah's name was not mentioned when it was slaughtered, the animal. Clear? By the way, this applies. These two verses apply to chicken, to cows, red meat, black meat, whatever you want to call it, all type of meats. طيب. Now, I want you to differentiate between the word Zabihah and the word Halal. Because sometimes an animal or a meat that was not slaughtered the Muslim way can be halal. I hope I'm not confusing you here, but let's say this again. Try to differentiate between the word Zabihah, meaning it's not slaughtered according to the Islamic way, the Shari'a. Now let's try to understand what is the Islamic way. What do we mean by the meat being slaughtered Islamically or according to the Sharia? Number one, certain conditions. That will solve the issue. So far we established something very important, that we're not supposed to eat meat that is not Zabihah. It's called Mayta. And this is what is meant by the verse, Mayta is haram. Mayta is meat that is not slaughtered according to the Sharia. We use the word Zabihah. Okay, what does it mean, the word Zabihah? 3 to 4 conditions. Number one, that the animal is slaughtered, meaning it was not shocked to death or drowned to death. That the knife went into the throat. This is condition number one. We call this, for it to be Zabihah. Zabihah. Again, Zabihah, another word for Zabihah according to the Islamic Sharia. Number two, the one who did the slaughtering is a Muslim, or Christian, or a Jew, with one restriction, that they did not mention the name of another deity while slaughtering. Number three, the blood must drain out of the body after being slaughtered. So 3 conditions. Let's stick to that. So if you fulfill these 3 conditions, then that meat is called Zabihah. Then it is lawful for us to eat. And this is what we must strive in principle to eat as Muslims. This is the principle upon which we move. طيب. There are 2 exceptions to this rule. There are 2 exceptions to this rule. Exception number 1, if a Jew or a Christian invite you to eat in his house or in a restaurant. If he invites you to eat in his house, let's say with the house, let's stick with the house, and he offers you meat, even so, even though, that is the proper English here, even though these three conditions were not fulfilled, you can say Bismillah and eat. Remember I mentioned the word restaurant? I was teasing there. But these restaurants out there are not the people of the book. McDonald's, Olive Gardens, promoting these on Islam QA. Hopefully they will send us some donations. We can accept it, it's okay. All these restaurants, they are not the people of the book. What is the wisdom behind this? You know, if a Christian invites me to his house to eat, and then he offers me meat. Oh, I'm sorry, I won't eat your meat. And you look like you're disgusted with his meat. How this will sound? You see, we're supposed to give da'wah to those people. And for this reason, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us to eat their meat. And I know, Sister Pam, you're saying, but the Christians at this time, they are overdoing it once it comes to Jesus and once it comes... You know, the same verse which tells us to eat their meat is in the same chapter where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, those who say that the Messiah is Allah, those who say that Allah is one of three are disbelievers. Surah Al-Ma'idah. And Surah Al-Ma'idah is one of the chapters, the last chapters revealed from the Quran. I hope you're getting my point here. وَلَا نَسْتَدْرِكَ عَلَى اللَّهِ. Allah is the one who revealed this. So, if a Christian or a Jew, that's the first exception. If a Christian or a Jew invite you to his house, to their house, not to the restaurant, to their house, nor the restaurants are people of the book, to their houses, to eat, just say Bismillah and eat their meat, and don't ask whether these three conditions were fulfilled or not. And how often this happens? Once or twice? What is the second exception?